Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual, as well as creating new systems in the area of finance, government, healthcare, education, and new environmental practices. My name is Addie Halkin. If you think that you have ideas or things to share in any of those areas, please feel free to email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com, or you can put the word guest in the comment section of this video, and I'd be happy to get back to you and potentially have you come on here. If you have ideas for helping the planet or helping humanity in other areas, I'd love to hear about that as well. And if you're not somebody that wants to be on a podcast, but you'd like to contribute to getting information through, please leave that in the comments or in an email. Also, please like, share, subscribe, or comment if you want to see more content or you have an interest in getting alternative information out to more people. So today I want to discuss what I've noticed happening with leadership on this planet. I am by no means an astrologer, so take this with a grain of salt. I know very basic information, but I am aware that we've had a couple signs kind of ruling the planet over the last few years. For many years, Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn, was what was primarily ruling planet Earth. It was the primary energy. And then in 2020, it transitioned over to Aquarius. Now, as with all transitions when it comes to the planets, this doesn't happen overnight. This is just like a slow integration. So we are now currently we have Aquarius currently ruling the planet more than any other astrological sign, but because that transition just happened, there's still a lot of Capricorn energy. And so I'm going to go over what each of these means. And I will say this, I don't believe any astrological sign is inherently bad. They just have different qualities. So when it comes to Capricorn energy tends to very much be about authority, tends to be about masculine energy, which usually represents a little bit more logic and compliance to others is what I've seen with this energy. There is kind of like a structure to Capricorn energy that I think a lot of us have noticed. You see it all over the planet. You see it on the world stage. It's a triangular structure. It's kind of a top-down leadership type style, where you've got your, owners and bosses at the top here, and then you have different levels of management, and then you have kind of your workers at the bottom of this pyramid. I think a lot of people see this when it comes to the world stage. They think that, government is at the top here. I don't think that's what's going on. I think government is more towards the middle, and I think our government answers to a lot of agencies as well as people we can't even see, trillionaires, people that own the world's wealth. So I think that it's more the trillionaires at the top of these world structures. And so anyhow, you see this triangulated structure in most corporations and jobs, and that's just the way that it's been. I think most of us just thought that was what was normal, and because it was just everywhere. And so that is kind of how Capricorn has been running the show. I remember back in 2019, I was working at a job, and I used to call a lot of the people there little astrology freaks because they knew a lot about astrology. And I remember in 2019, a few of them telling me, you wait till 2020, something big is coming. They didn't know what it was, but they knew something big was coming because they knew what was happening with the influence of the planets. And so, of course, 2020 rolls around and, what goes down? The pandemic. And it was like a literal crash from my vantage point, because we had a lot of this, we had the Capricorn energy, which was what kicked off the pandemic to begin with. And you had a lot of people who were still kind of, in this energy, believing their authority, believing the news, listening to the fear. And yet you had so much Aquarian energy that had just come in that you had a lot of people now that were much more aligned with this. And so you had a lot of people questioning, what we were being told, and not not caring to be compliant with this whole situation. And I do think that when it comes to planet Earth, these pandemics have happened before, and because there was not near this amount of influence, most people just kind of fell into this where they were afraid and they were just, kind of fighting to stay alive. And so, again, the whole pandemic really mirrored what was happening with the energies. When it comes to Aquarian energy, which is now what the primary energy that is ruling planet Earth is, it's much more about individuality. It's much more about feminine energy, which kind of brings in more of the intuitive nature. And then it's about personal power. So if you look at these structures, they're nothing like these. Each bubble here represents an individual. So Aquarian energy, the interesting thing is that both Aquarius and Capricorn energy are very much leadership energies. But with Aquarius, Aquarius is not about people on top, Aquarius is about us being our own leaders. And so that is the direction that I believe our Earth is moving. The thing is that there's still so much of both of these influences that if you're somebody that aligns more with the Capricorn kind of style, there's room for you for a lot of years. You can choose to stay here. You don't have to go into Aquarius. That is completely up to each one of us. But I will say, what is happening with this, because of this coming and taking over, is a lot of this kind of thing. There's a lot of structures that were built in Capricorn energy that are crashing now. And that's by design. That's to help us get into our own personal power and kind of live a life that we more want. And so that is what I think is happening with leadership. It's up to you, it's up to you if you want to be your own leader or if you want to continue to follow authority. Nobody can tell you what to do with that. There's no better or less than, but I do think that the majority of us are moving in this direction. And I think there's a good reason for that. So I just wanted to touch upon that a little bit. There's a lot more to, astrology and how things are moving, but I do think that, in general, we are moving much more towards personal power and being individuals. And I would say that we're moving much more into being, in our own individual leaders, but still being connected to each other, still kind of understanding that we are all connected and we are all energy. And so I did not ever really see that kind of connectedness in this kind of structure. So do what you want. That's just my viewpoint on what's been happening. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to come on here and tell your spiritual stories or help the planet transition into more of this, please reach out to me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com. And I'd love to talk to you and maybe have you come on here. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.